You're lacing up your shoes by the front door. Your dog is sitting 3 feet away, watching every movement with their ears slightly forward and their tail completely still. You grab your keys, their body tenses. Most people assume that the moment the door closes, their dog is fine. Maybe they nap, maybe they wander to the water bowl. Life just quietly goes on. But behavioural researchers have been leaving cameras running in empty homes for decades. And what those cameras actually capture changes everything, especially the last thing on this list. That one reframes the whole relationship. Let's start from the very first second. The door clicks shut behind you. You're already thinking about traffic, your first meeting, whether you remembered to eat. And back inside that house, something begins. Most owners imagine a peaceful scene. Dog circles their bed twice, settles in, sleeps until you come home. Calm, content, safe. Researchers at the University of Milan installed cameras in 23 homes and walked out. What they captured was not calm. Within 3 minutes and 15 seconds of the owner leaving, vocalization had begun. Barking, whining, door scratching. Within 7 minutes, destructive behavior started. 7 minutes. That's how long the shoes are safe. But the finding that hits hardest isn't the noise, it's what came after. When that first frantic phase quieted, owners would come home to a still house and assume all was well. But the cameras showed panting, elevated heart rate, bodies that had not relaxed at all. The noise had stopped. The distress hadn't. They're not bored. They're not acting out. They're experiencing something that, in human terms, is closest to the feeling that the person they love most has vanished, and they have no way of knowing if they'll ever come back. Tomorrow morning, before you leave, drop something worn, a t-shirt from yesterday, a used pillowcase. Somewhere they'll find it. It's not a cure, but it is a message, and they will receive it. That scent anchor matters for a reason most people never fully grasp. Because while you're gone, your dog isn't just waiting, they're searching. Walk through the camera footage long enough, and the same behaviour appears in almost every home. The dog moves to the couch cushion where you were sitting. They push their nose deep into the crease. They find the sweatshirt on the bedroom floor and press their whole face into the fabric. They don't just smell it and walk away. They lie down in it. They stay. Most people who see this assume their dog misses them in a vague, sentimental way. Something sweet. Something to smile at. But your dog's olfactory system processes scent through roughly 300 million receptor cells. Yours has about 6 million. When your dog buries their face in something you've worn, they are not engaging in sentiment. They are activating the same neural pathways that your physical presence triggers. Researchers found that dogs exposed to their owner's scent during separation showed measurably lower cortisol levels than those given no scent at all. Same absence, same duration, completely different biology. They're not being sweet. They're medicating their nervous system with the only piece of you left behind. Think about that. Leave something worn every single day. Not fresh washed. Not straight from the drawer. Worn. To your nose, it's laundry. To theirs, it is still you in the room. If this is already changing how you think about what happens in that empty house, hit like and subscribe. Every video on this channel exists to help owners understand what their dog is genuinely communicating. And we're not even close to done. Here's where it gets more complex, because your dog isn't just seeking you through scent. They're actively working to protect the space you left behind. Watch enough home footage and the pattern becomes unmistakable. They don't settle in one spot. They move through the house with a slow, deliberate circuit. Back door, kitchen, hallway, front window, then again and again. In wolf packs, when the group fragments, some members hunting, others remaining at the den. Those who stay don't simply rest. They maintain the perimeter. They remain alert at the boundary. That encoded behaviour hasn't been bred out of your dog. It's running right now in an empty house on a Tuesday afternoon, because the most important member of their pack walked out the front door and didn't come back yet. They're not restless. They're not anxious in the casual way we use that word. They are performing an ancient genetically encoded role, guarding what belongs to the pack in the absence of its leader. If your dog seems exhausted at the end of the day without obvious reason, this is part of why. Guarding is metabolically expensive. On days you'll be gone longer, leave them something that activates their nose, a stuffed toy, a sniff trail. Give the patrol dog something worth investigating. Now this next one is the one that takes a moment to fully land, because it looks so ordinary from the outside and the reality of it is anything but. At some point during your absence, sometimes an hour in, sometimes 3, your dog goes to a window, not any window, usually the front, the one that faces the direction you left from, and they stay there. Most owners who see this footage laugh softly. Oh, they're watching the street, bored, looking for squirrels. but the positioning's almost never random. Dogs who maintain a window vigil tend to choose the exact sightline that gives them the widest view of the last direction they saw you walk. They aren't watching the neighbourhood. They are watching for one specific silhouette to reappear on that street. Behavioural researchers describe this as a maintained vigil, an act of sustained attention that requires active neurological effort. It is not passive waiting. It is an ongoing search. Their eyes keep returning to the same spot on the street because that is where you disappeared, and that is where the prediction says you will come back. Think about what that actually means. Every hour you're at work, your dog may be at that window, not playing, not sleeping, watching. When you come home, find out which window it is. On a calm evening, go stand at it with them for a moment. Look out together. Your dog won't understand the gesture conceptually, but their nervous system will register it as exactly what it is. You, finally back where they've been looking. And here's the thing that makes that vigil possible. Something in your dog's biology that most people wave away as coincidence or magic. You're still 10 minutes from home. You haven't turned onto your street. You're at a red light 2 neighbourhoods away. And inside the house, something changes. Your dog lifts their head from the floor. Their ears rotate forward. They stand, move toward the door and begin to pace. They knew. Most owners call this a sixth sense. Something inexplicable. Something they can't account for. The reality is more extraordinary than the myth. A dog's auditory system can isolate and recognize specific acoustic signatures, the particular engine note of your car, the exact rhythm and weight of your footsteps on pavement, from distances that would register as silence to every human on the block. They've learned the sound of your return the way you learned your own name. Repetition, attention, devotion over time, and the moment those frequencies reach them, their nervous system begins its shift, out of vigilance, out of patrol, out of vigil, and into something else entirely. They're not reading your mind. They're doing something more impressive. They have memorized you at a frequency you cannot hear, and they have been listening for it for hours. This is what I was pointing at in the very beginning. That stillness when you were lacing your shoes, remember it, tail down, ears forward, eyes that hadn't left your face. You probably thought your dog was just watching you leave, maybe a little sad, maybe just alert, but that stillness was the end of a chain. The shoes, the bag, the keys. Your dog had memorized the exact sequence of your departure ritual over months or years of watching. Each step in that sequence is a confirmed prediction. The one I love most is about to disappear. By the time your hand touched the door, their body was already preparing for everything you've just learned about. The panic, the scent seeking, the patrol, the vigil, the long hours of listening. Every behavior in this video is the same story told in a different moment. Your dog's entire internal world, their neurology, their anxiety, their ancient guarding instinct, their extraordinary senses, is organized around a single fact. You exist, and when you're gone, nothing is right until you come back. They don't experience your absence as inconvenience, they experience it as an incomplete world. And when you finally walk back through that door, when they sprint toward you with their whole body moving and their ears back, and a sound coming out of them that isn't quite barking and isn't quite crying, that's not just excitement. That's every hour of waiting, every loop of the house, every minute at the window, every sound they isolated in the distance and held on to until it finally became you. Your dog doesn't love you the way you love a pet. They love you the way a nervous system loves its only source of calm.